Hello traders, welcome to the channel. What will the tariff do to the market? I think everybody is waiting to see that. So let's look at the indices first. This is for educational purpose only. This is not financial advice. Look at the SPY. It is in a downtrend, but it also seems like it is trying to build a double bottom. So if it goes up from here, it can form a W bottom, so that's a bullish trend, but it could also come to this resistance and come back down. Then that will mean that we're still in the downtrend. What it's gonna happen, we don't know. Only time can tell. If we look at the QQQ today, it's still also in the downtrend, and DIA. DIA is slightly better, but it's at this resistance area, also the 200 MA area. Look at the IWM. IWM is in a downtrend. It didn't. Well, maybe it's trying to form a double bottom as well. So we shall see. But this one is the weakest of the indices because the 50 has already crossed down the 200 MA. While the SPY, the 50 has turned pointing downward, but it hasn't crossed the 200 yet. So I feel like in the past I have only shared with ETFs and some not so popular stocks. Maybe some traders feel that they're not sexy. So today we're gonna look at some of the big names. The first one is AAPL, Apple. Apple is one of the big tech. As you can see, the 50 and the 200 are getting really close. Is it gonna touch and cross, or is the 50 gonna go back up from here? We don't know. But if you look at the short term, it's stronger than the market. It's in an uptrend. What it will do from here, we don't know. Maybe it will consolidate somewhere here, and then eventually maybe it want to go up, or maybe it will go down. Um, Only time can tell on that one. Um, but if we compare this to the other big names, Amazon is clearly in a downtrend. Meta, same thing with Amazon. NVDA, also maybe trying to build a double bottom, but in a downtrend, and 50 crossed down below the 200. So Apple may be trying to go up more. We don't know, but just remember there's a lot of resistance here in this price area, 227, 230 area basically. And then after that, there's a lot of resistance here. There's a double top resistance here at 236. But in the short term, is stronger than the other big techs. Another one I have is C Limited, SE. SE, if we look at the weekly chart, you will see that it was once a $350, $360 stock. It was beaten down a lot. And for a long time, for 2 years, it's been building this bottom. And right now, if you look at the 50 MA, is coming back up. I think it's getting close to cross above the 200 MA on the weekly. So that will be very positive on the long side. And trading view doesn't have the quadrant lines, but some other softwares or trading platforms, they do have that. If you use that and you just click the recent high and then the recent low, it will um, you will have four lines basically divided to 25%, 50%, 75%, 100. And if you use that method, you will notice that right here at about 120 area, that's where the 25% is. And this one, we look at the weekly chart right now, it's in a very obvious uptrend, and it's doing some consolidation on the weekly to the trend line. So this one looks very promising in terms of risk and reward. Even on the weekly chart, if we get in somewhere here, and then remember this is weekly, and then use this, the bottom of this small consolidating area as the stop loss, you'll be looking at about 7 to 8% risk. But then the reward, the first target is over here to this high. That's 32% already. And then I think the next target could be the 200 area. That's about close to 50%. And then the next target is the 95 area. That's 71%. So this one I think has a great potential. And in terms of risk reward, very good. But on the daily, it for the short term, it looks very choppy. But if you look at this on a longer time frame, if you get into maybe a leap call, if you use options, then I think this one has a great potential for a very high return. The next one I have is CMG, Chipotle. Chipotle, if we come to the daily chart, we can see that it has recently about to touch the downtrend line. But the 50 has crossed down to the 200 on the daily, and it hasn't pushed up through the downtrend line yet. But if we come to the weekly, you can see that if we draw some horizontal lines here, you can see that this is the resistance, that's the recent highs, and then here is the support. And what do you see? It's in a channel, and right now it's at the bottom of the channel. Looks like it wants to, it is bouncing above the bottom of the channel. So the potential is it could go up to the top of this channel. So if you look at it this way, this chart also looks like a good watch list candidate. Another one I have is RBLX. RBLX, if we come to the weekly as well, you can see that it has been building a bottom since, I don't know, July of 2023, and it has been in the uptrend recently. The 50 was about flat, and now it has coming back up. And also, so on the weekly, it came here to about $670, and it found resistance, so it came back down, and it pulled back and see where it finds support. It found support near this area, 53, 50-ish area, and now it's consolidating. So I think this one has potential to go up. And then if we just use the weekly to gauge our risk, if we come use the bottom of this one, this candle as the stop loss area, that's about 6-7%. And then the first target is, of course, take out this $70 area. That's already 15-16%. And then the next target is to take out the recent high. That's 25%. And if it can do that, the next target will be to take out this one, this high back in what, January of 2022. That's 50%. So this one on the weekly, it also has a lot of potential. So, but on the week, back to the daily chart, I wouldn't go in just yet because even though it has breakthrough the downtrend and withdraw like this, it has held the low higher low, so it created an uptrend. But maybe um, in some trading platform you can place price alert. If were for me, I would not get into this one until it passed this resistance area, this past high, also the high back here in January, and also the 50 MA. And if it can pass that and then test it and then hold and then come closer to this trend, then I'll consider get in. Even after it passed this resistance area, then get in. There is still plenty of room for it to go up. So patience here is the key. Patience equals profit. Um, Another one is HLF. HLF on the daily chart, it's been consolidating. So it's not. It looks like very choppy and I wouldn't even want to get in. But if we come to the weekly, suddenly it changes. So if we zoom in on the weekly, see right here, it has been um, the downtrend has been going very steep, and now it has smoothed out, and then now this earning this big candle on the weekly made it touch the 50 on the 50 MA on the weekly, and then see what it did for the past 6 weeks, five plus weeks. It has been consolidating in a very tight area, right along the 50 MA. So this one on the weekly looks very promising. And then if we just get in somewhere here once or when after it break through this top area, and then use the bottom here as the stop loss, that's 10% risk. But then the first target will be probably take out this previous resistance here. That's 35%. And then if you can do that, the second target will be somewhere here. Check out this high here. That's 74, and then here that's over 100%. So this one is probably better for a stock trade since it's relatively cheap. It's a $9 stock. So this one, from a risk reward standpoint, it's very promising. Next one I have is FOXA. I talked about this one before. So I think I didn't get in because I think it needs to pull back to the trend, and looks like it did. But then right after that, it jumped up again, big time. And but then right now it seems like it's giving us another opportunity to get in. So that's why we like to find trending stocks, because even though we may have missed the optimal, quote unquote, optimal entry point on the trending chart, there is always gonna be another entry point for us. So this one here, if it does this in the next couple of days, where it just consolidate, FOXA, sorry about that. So if for the next couple of days it just consolidate here in this range, and then if one day you see a big green candle going up, that's when I think the buyer is ready to go in. FOXA. That's when you see the buyer getting in. That's when, if it were me, that's when I will be getting in. And then with that, the risk is underneath this green candle. That's about 3% risk. Then the first target is to overtake the recent highs. And then if we come to the weekly, this one has been um, in a almost an all-time high. Oh, it is the this 58 is the all-time high. So if it can take out this recent high, it can sky's the limit. The last one I have is KGC. This is also a stock. So we all know that gold has been on a run up for a very long time now, but it has been the gold ETF. The price is very high now. So and it's also the move has been very steep now. So maybe not the. Oh, we should draw the trend line this way. So the trend has getting steeper. So may not be the best time to get in. But if we come to KGC, this is relatively a cheaper stock. And if we zoom out, it has some resistance back there, back in 2011. But for for the shorter term, it made a recent high. It can also go higher and look at the trend on this stock. I think it has more room to go up if the market keeps being so volatile. So there are some stocks for you to think about. Hopefully, you find some value in this video. If you have any comments, feel free to leave a comment in the comment area. Or if you want like these kind of videos, or you have suggestions for what kind of stocks you want to look at, leave a comment. I'll be happy to work with you to look at those charts. All right, until next time. See you next time.